Hello everyone, welcome back to some more max difficulty, oxygen not included. Woo! 1676. Back in 1676, the colony was doing well. Oh man, it is like, I don't know, it's almost boring now, this game, seriously. Like, at this point, I need to like spice it up because I recently had a comment suggesting I like do actual gameplay and then just like edit it and cut the boring parts out, but it's all boring. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's literally the way I progress this base at this point is, let me see if I can show you actually. I might have some tasks queued up, although this is near a recording, so I probably don't, but basically I'll just queue some buildings up that I want done, or like digging. Here we go. See, we've got some digging down here that we want done. Although I had some issues with my my jet suit, so it's not currently connected. But like this is what I'll do. I'll either dig out a large portion, or I'll set up some kind of like buildings that I want done, or deconstruction, and I'll check on it like very infrequently during that process. And I don't even really check on it. I just look over here to make sure nobody's died. That's what I do. So I literally, I'll wake up in the morning, and before I shower or eat or to do anything, I'll set some tasks to be done, or they might even be set from like previous playtime. And then I'll put it on ×3 or sometimes even super speed, and I'll just walk away and go do other things. And that's legit how this base has been progressing for the last, I don't know, many hundred cycles. So it wouldn't be very entertaining if I actually like recorded me during those cycles. So anyway, what's going on? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having great holidays. I know Christmas is coming up. Early happy Christmas. I'm sure I'll say it again multiple times throughout the rest of this month, but hope you guys are all having some jolly holidays, and your Thanksgivings went well and all that. Ooh, man, I'm a little bit tired, to be honest. I'm a little bit tired. I just woke up recently, within the past hour or so, so I'm a little groggy still. I haven't had any tea or anything. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on with this base. What are we doing? Obviously, we've got this huge bunker door ceiling going on here that we're trying to get done. And I think, yeah, I'm just running out of steel. So at this point, I'm kind of steel capped. And one thing I can do, which I've started to do, is all of these power transformers are made out of steel, aside from like 2 at the end, which I've replaced. And that's because at one point, it was like super hot in here. You can see over here, it's still pretty dang hot. So I could replace some of these. Now, I used to only have 1 Weezewood in here, but after adding 3, it seems to be dropping the temperature pretty rapidly. But I've got multiple things that I need to do. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the dirt cooker video. We definitely need to get that guy set up, and I've already got some like changes in mind for what I want to do to it. There's some tweaks I want to make, but it's probably going to be going right here. Or maybe I might move it, I don't know. But I mean, my water's right here, and you can see my water's actually like 21 degrees. So this is the polluted water that I plan on using. And you can see, yeah, my petroleum generators here are the ones generating that water. So if you don't know, I don't have access to my plastic right now. So they give out 750 grams a second of polluted water, and I have 5 of them. So these are my main power supply right here. So aside from steam turbines, so I have this battery set to 60%, and that's because when my steam turbines are running, I don't want to be wasting that power. So I never fully charge these batteries off of just petroleum. If they're ever at 100%, and that goes for my battery bank as well. If I can slowly scroll down. There we go. The only reason these are at 100% is because probably the turbines, or I was running this guy because I had some petroleum in the pipe here, and I wanted to get rid of it because I'm deconstructing this stuff. I don't know if I want to deconstruct You know what? I hate doing this because it's like wasted power, but the only way to not do it is like set a transformer up and then siphon the power. Bleh, don't want to do that. Forget it. We're just going to deconstruct all this stuff here because this room is no longer needed. Oops. Maybe not the power wires just yet because they might still be being used. All of this stuff needs to go. All this, it's so laggy. One thing I would love to do with this base is actually like just stop and like deconstruct all the crap that's built up because yeah, there's just a lot of it. What was going on here? Oh yeah, I ran out of oxygen. So I've disabled all this stuff. They can't. Okay, so they can't actually get over here is the problem. So we need to build this ladder so we can build this vent so we can put some algae into this algae deoxidizer and start producing oxygen. So that's one problem that I've found with this. So one thing I might actually just do right now is run an oxygen line. I don't know if I want to, it doesn't need to be cold, that's the thing. So I may just want to run it out of igneous, but just a regular. Oh, my oxygen is way up here though. I almost want to set up just a local oxygen system down here. Do I have water closer? If I could just set up an electrolyzer, that would be nice. Where's our water? Our water's right here. So it's not exactly close. Ugh. But we do have pipe here already. So you know what? What we could just do, we're not actually using this sieve anymore. So what we could do is actually just tag a line off of this, our main water line here. And bum bum bum. Let's actually put it down a little bit here. Pop pop. There we go. And then we can game. Hello, respond to me. There we go. Make sure we're using igneous here. You don't actually need to delete that one. You need to delete this one and this one. Okay. Make those priority 9, that way we don't get water out into here just circulating. Okay, so we've got a line down to here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna replace this guy with an electrolyzer. So this kind of stuff right here can get deconstructed. That'll be an electrolyzer. We'll run a water line over here, and then we'll put like a hydrogen generator right here, and we'll just send the hydrogen directly to that. That way I can power all this stuff. Even though we've already got power down here. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We got plenty of petroleum stored up here. I know it's kind of a snaky mess, but it's fine. Any excess petroleum will make its way over to our plastic production, which... How much plastic do we have? It's not showing it right now because I can't actually get over to this point without jetpacks. I planned on using jetpacks to kind of do everything over here, and I've since walled off, or doored off rather, all the paths over there that way, so that way the jetpacks don't, you know, wander freely throughout the base. So we need to get that set up. We need to get our dirt cooker set up because if you look here, 57 tons of dirt, it's going down. It continuously goes down. So we need ways to generate dirt. We might need to set up more than one dirt cooker, honestly, unless I can increase the throughput somehow. But throughput, is that the correct word? Maybe output, I don't know. If I can increase the amount of dirt that it, increase the amount of dirt that it produces per second. I suppose all I'd really need to do is increase the amount of water that it could cook. But I don't know if I'll have enough water at that point. There's going to be a point where I don't have enough water anymore. So question is, when is that point? But anyway, one other thing I'm going to start working on is a rocket silo. And we're going to be sticking that guy somewhere over here. We'll probably just be right here. And then it'll give us plenty of room to build a humongo rocket. At least I assume it will. I don't know how big a rockets can actually get, but that's pretty large. That's what she said. And I think it's going to be plenty of room. So how's my farm doing? I haven't checked on it for a while, but one thing we did was actually rebuild these conveyors because they were sticking up here, so I wasn't able to build insulated tiles. So I've since fixed that, and we've had like a full insulation barrier here. One other thing I've done is add 2 additional lights, and the only reason for that is just to generate more heat because these were actually still too cold. Some of them weren't growing because my water is 4.8 degrees, so it's right on the brink of 5 there, and it was a little bit colder at one point, so these guys were actually, you know, getting stiffed, I guess. But I still have this problem where my dirt is coming in here. You can see it's 20 degrees, and before that it's like 60, 70, so I'm actually cooling it down in here. Got a little cooling loop for that, and then, you know, by the time it gets in here, it's around 10, or 20. But that's, you know, that's still enough to keep this very first plant from growing. So here's the thing, though. It's not that big of an issue. This will eventually be fixed when I implement the dirt cooker, because the dirt cooker is going to cool down the dirt that's output from it. However, the dirt that is currently being pumped in and dirt that gets that comes from compost is always going to be hot. So I may want to filter sort of this line here. You can see that I've got like a cooling loop, right? But we might want to set something up down here as like dedicated cooling. This one was kind of just improvised. I just threw it in after I realized the problem, but it's not functioning as much as I'd like it to. So, or not as well as I'd like it to. And we do have room over here now. Originally, I thought I could potentially plant pepper nuts in there, but I could actually potentially, because I don't know how many pepper nuts I need, but I don't believe I need a lot of them. The excess, so this many sleet wheat grains, we're actually going to have a small excess of sleet wheat. It doesn't add up perfectly. So I was thinking with that excess sleet wheat, we could turn it into pepper bread. But I would then need a dedicated like pepper farm, right? I'd have to do the math and see how many pepper plants I actually need, but we could potentially set up some kind of dedicated dirt cooling system right here, which uses, I mean, I guess would have to be Wheezworts, or see anything else. Like, I guess not an aqua tuner, a nullifier might work. Not a nullifier either. I always forget the name of it. The one that cools gas. Thermoregulator. So we could potentially run a thermoregulator because they generate a lot less heat than an aqua tuner. See, this one generates 58. This only generates 14. So, you know, you can have what, 3 or 4 of these to one thermo aqua tuner and have the same amount of heat or so. So if I could potentially just cool this down with hydrogen, which I definitely could, because hydrogen gets super cold, right? Before it actually gets to a point where it freezes, or condensates rather. So if I could just set up like a hydrogen cooling room for my dirt, that might be pretty good. I could potentially bring in another duplicate, and you know what? I think I will, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring in a duplicate. So let's see what we've got available. I don't really know what we need, and to be honest, we don't really need anything. I guess this guy could be an astronaut, potentially, so we might want to judge that. Now, 5 learning is very tempting. However, he has -3 strength, and strength is a lot harder to train. So I might just say, forget it. Bottomless stomach. Don't really want more. Ooh, loud sleepers. Loud sleeper actually doesn't matter because they each have their own bedroom. So, but she doesn't really have any other great traits. None of them are that great, to be honest. None of them are that great. I suppose I can train strength. And I think strength will just naturally get trained eventually, so well, we're going to take Stinky. He's got the 5 learning. I can't turn it down, man. Even with the horrible strength, I can't turn it down. So, well, let's just go ahead and deconstruct these. We don't need those anymore. What else is going on? We've added, I think I already had those gas reservoirs there. So we haven't added anything. I mean, we added these petroleum generators, but that's kind of it. Using all our oil up over here. How's our oil production down below? We did actually lose our goldfish. Our goldfish died at some point, so I don't know if it was. I don't know how it died, to be honest. Like, it didn't get too hot. Perhaps it like slipped through here. There was one point where this was open. I don't know what happened. I thought this was all abyssalite, but maybe there was some ice there that melted and the fish slipped through and died. But I did lose the goldfish, so I'm sad about that. But we can make more. We can make more goldfish if we need to. What am I looking at? Oil. Let's see. Oil. We're doing pretty good. Still doing pretty good here. We are going to be using a lot more polluted water now that we're actually, consistently using our oil over here. But we do have another oil geyser, as well as all this oil still. So I'm not really worried about running out of oil, and we've got this geyser over here which we could tap into, and maybe we should, to be honest. Maybe we should do that. We can't get to the plastic. Okay. Let's see why we can't get to the plastic. We can climb up this. The door. Oh, we got to make this door available to go up through. And then, okay. So they can now get to the plastic. So they should be able to build this high pressure vent. You know what I realized? We're actually going to need... We're actually not going to need that. Let's just pause it for a second, because if we're going to put a hydrogen generator here, how hot is it? 53, 55. Okay, we can build it out of whatever. So if we're just going to build a hydrogen generator here, and then vent the exhaust off here, which could be anything really, but then we're going to need another filter. We can go ahead and unpause it. So we're gonna need another frickin' filter over here. Gosh darn it. And honestly, the way I'm gonna set this up right now is just to waste the hydrogen. It's just gonna continuously run because I don't really want to set up it. I want to get this jet suit set up mainly, and I want to get it working. So that's kind of all that I'm really worried about at the moment. Come on. So we're going to need a electrolyzer here and power for that thing right here. And then we'll replace this with a power wire. I know it looks a little wonky. There we go. Okay. So, and then the hydrogen generator will just run forever and ever and ever and ever. But at least it'll be going into the grid, so not the worst thing in the world. So all that's got to get done before I can get my jet suits up and running. Jet suits? Why do I call them jet suits? They're jet packs. Maybe not. Jet suit. Okay, that's why I'm calling them jet suits, because they're referred to as jet suits. Boom. So once we get this set up, we can literally just come out and excuse me. We can just come over here and just like do things like this. Just dig out big old chunks of things and start like really opening up the map and kind of just dumping all the trash down here, really. All our resources, all the diamonds and everything, we'll just leave at the bottom of the map. We'll be able to pick through it as we need. Would like to get like a proper tropical pacu farm, maybe in my barracks. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? That'd be kind of cool. Or potentially, I have a better idea. Hold on. If I can just slowly scroll up there. We're almost there. We're almost there. So over here, what we could do is we could make this floor window tiles, and then we could set up a nice little aquarium for Paku right here. And that way, every time the duplicates come in to eat or play games or anything, they can look down and see the beautiful fishies. Wonderful. That's a great idea. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Oh, look, the sleetweed's growing. That won't last long. That won't last long. So this is Stinky's new apartment. He's at the top, so all his farts are going to sink down. Isn't Stinky always a flatulent? I thought I remember something about that. Stinky, are you a flatulent? I don't remember seeing it, but I believe Stop. He's not. Okay. He is a vomiter, though. So I'm sure his puke stinks. Blech. But that timer means we are out of time for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's I feel like these episodes are kind of boring, and you can let me know in the comments if they are or not. And I'm honestly continuing like stopping this series because it just seems, I don't know, it just seems kind of boring. So you guys can let me know if you'd like me to continue it or not. I'm gonna probably continue it until this fails, but I don't know, like until this colony fails or it gets to a point where it's too laggy or I'm so far behind on updates that I just want to play new stuff. But you guys can let me know anyway. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.